Debbie Donahue. I'm a facilitator for A Girl and a Gun. I've also been a regional director, certified through NRA, many disciplines, range masters, do a lot of training at front sight. So I instruct ladies. Women find it to be kind of intimidating to take classes from men. That's how I got into it. So I just kind of said, you know, I'm tired of going to classes and feeling intimidated. So I'm going to go do this for myself first, but secondly for my ladies. Women are being targeted because A, they're smaller than men most times. Men have more power. They have children, they have distractions, they're on their phone. So they're discovering that and they're going, you know, my husband can't always be with me, or my boyfriend, or whatever it is. I have to be responsible for myself. So that's how it's changing, is that we have to be responsible for ourselves. As I've been in a few encounters, I guess would really be the way to say it, is Walmart actually in October of last year was one of them, and I had a guy approaching me and he wouldn't stop. And we all know this means stop. In any language that means stop, whether you say it or not. He didn't stop, so I got louder and I did all of the things we do defensively, and then now he's standing almost as close as you and I are. And it was a pretty scary time at that point because he really could have grabbed a hold of me. So now I've gotten back into the training, self-defense training, hand-to-hand combat training, come to the Mingle here for training because it all adds up. It's all about training yourself. You can't train somebody else if you don't know the latest and greatest techniques. You take a little bit from the Mingle, you take a little bit from Range Masters, you take a little bit from each class that you take. So I'm not an instructor. I am an instructor, but I'm not an instructor. I'm always a student. Student first. It's special because of Brian and Shelley, first and foremost. They are amazing people, amazing training, and every year they make it different. It may be the same exact thoughts and ideas, but by the way they're presenting it, it's different. It's the same thing we go through in A Girl and a Gun. We do the same thing. We present it in a different way. Maybe it's a different instructor. Maybe it's a different level of training. Maybe it took you to explain something to me that my husband would have explained, or Shelley or Brian might have explained, and it didn't click. But you say it, and I go, oh, wow, that made sense. That actually happened to me last year. Brian explained something that my husband had explained the very same way. And when he said, look at your front sight and hard focus on the front sight, I always thought I had been, but I really hadn't. And Brian figured that out. Well, to get them here, they have to be in the firearms industry, so it has to be a lady pretty much already, right? But if you're talking about a regular class, I take personal experiences from it. Well, I went to X class. We'll use the Mingle, if that's what I was trying to do. And I'd say last year I came, and Brian figured out something that I was doing wrong, what I thought was right. And so to me, that's important. So now I'm eager. I want to know what does Brian have this year? Because he's got something different than he had last year. So I want to know that. So I tell him it's worth the time. It's worth the effort. Go the first day. It's free. You don't have to pay. You get 50 ladies together. It's about the socialization and the networking. All these ladies are in my same industry. We all are touching different people's lives. So for me, that means I make another industry contact. I may not know the answer for something, but boy, I can call Shelley, I can call Jan, I can call so-and-so and get that information. So to me, that makes it important to continue doing this. You need to train. Remember, you're only as good as your last shot. Think about that. You were at the range last week. Were all your shots perfect? Probably not, because I know mine always are. So that's why I have to continue training. If you only train once or twice a year, when the time matters, muscle memory may work, but it may not. Train, train, train. If you get an opportunity to train with Brian and Shelley, please do so. It's amazing, and it's well worth the money. Your life is worth it, believe me.